Hey guys, Woody here and welcome back to the channel. So, bit of a different video today. I'm going to go through some tips of lower league management. Now, if you're liking the content, please, and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It does mean a lot. Hit that like button and comment down below. If you are managing a lower league team, tell me who they are. Let me know how they're going. Anyway, so you've got FM22 and you usually manage a big team, Premier League, for example. You know, your Arsenals, your Man Cities, Liverpool, one of those big teams. But you've decided to go for a bit of a stressful route, I guess, and manage a lower league team. Well, that's great, because I'm here today to give you a couple of tips that might help you make that transition a little bit smoother. Let's go and have a look at them.
A blinding strike! Well, have you seen a better 2 goals in a game from a striker? Had a look, had a hit! Oh! Captain Fantastic!
Alright guys, so here we are. We're at the team to manage spot, and you've decided to avoid the Premier League, and you're going to go all the way down to Vanarama South or North. So at the moment, this is the lowest you can go. Obviously, there'll be that tier 10 database coming out. If you really go low, then that's those ones there. But for the moment, this is where we are. So let's pick a team. Let's go Farsley Celtic. That sounds good. Now, first tip here, okay? Your management stats, because you're not going to have a lot of coaches in lower league, sometimes, well, your stats can help with that. So let's say you go, I don't know, for a tactician here or whatever. You can distribute some of these points out. Maybe tactician isn't the best. Maybe taskmaster is a good one. So you can increase your fitness here. Okay, you can do this for any others as well. If you just want to go default, you could, take some off attacking fitness, for example, and you're like, I want to coach some goalkeepers. So having some of your management stats, definitely I would, fitness is the one I'd definitely be going for, especially at lower league. You can keep your fitness up there, and that'll help with the coaching there, and you don't have to worry too much about getting a fitness coach in. Okay? Go suggest, I want National B, Sunday League. Yep, that's all good. And we're gonna get a little bit more there, so I'm gonna chuck a lot of that into fitness. That's my shtick. All right, let's go and have a look. Yep, let's start playing. All right, so here we are. Yep, Farsley Celtic, excellent. Let's just skip past all of this stuff. All right, guys, so here we are. You've just got the job, lower league, excellent. That's really great. Before we get into the other kind of tips here, just letting you know, if you are interested in football manager content, you've just kind of come along here. I do have, hopefully it's just popped up at the top now, maybe it's on that side. I do have a journeyman save Sunday League to Premier League out at the moment. I think I'm about three to 4 episodes deep in that, so have a check out if you're into that kind of stuff. All right. So the first tip we did was the manager stats. Okay. The second one we're going to look at here is we want to go straight into the squad. Have a look at the squad. Okay, it's quite small here. Let's have a look. We've got some under 23s and some under 18s. Not too many. Now, let's just have a look at the contract quickly. Wage-wise, we've got Mark Bet here. He's on £150 a week. Okay. He's 39 years old, so I don't know what he is doing down there. So, I mean, he's probably someone who could go. I don't know why 39-year-old is down the under 23s, but bad example. Rest of them are right, they're all on non-contracts. So this is one of the first things to check out, is to have a look. We're going to push him actually to the senior squad. To have a look at the youth squad, because sometimes you can have a lot of youth players down here floating around on some big wages, and that is really going to eat into your finances when you've only got such a tiny wage budget here. We're looking pretty good with about £1,000 a week under, so that's excellent. But a couple of youth players in there on about 50 quid a week. All of a sudden, you're paying 250 quid there a week on your wages. So have a look at that youth team first up, and if there's any kids in there who are eating up a bit of wage, you can potentially shift them on or whatever. Okay, so that's the first tip there. Have a look at your youth team and maybe shifting some of those players who are on quite high wages, because that sometimes does happen. Right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to have a look at some of our players. Now, definitely down this far, down here, we're just going to take the strikers because it's always, we already looked at Mark Bett, Jimmy Spencer, not really well, James Hansen. Wow, he is slow and old. So what I'm trying to get for here is, with these lower league players, physical stats are key. Okay, they are key. If you can get a striker, which we can't here because these guys are all quite old, it's not too bad. 39 is pretty fast for a 39-year-old. If you've got some physical stats here, especially acceleration and pace, at this level, these guys will run amok. You can get a striker who high pace, high acceleration, balance, stuff like that. The finishing doesn't have to be great. Yeah, they will carve up this league. And same again if you've got any, large sort of target forward sort of players. This guy here, for example, the jumping reach and the balance and that will help him out. Same with your centre backs as well. Physical is key. Really picked a really bad team for this example with. None of these guys are very physically dominant. But anyway, you get the idea here. If you can get a centre back, jumping reach of 14 is pretty good here with heading of 12. So, it's 193. A player like this is really going to dominate, especially on those set pieces. Okay, so physical stats are key. Right, we popped in here briefly to finances. We've got £1,000 under the wage budget. That's looking pretty good, and the club's in pretty good financial shape at the moment. 37k in the bank, but we have no transfer budget. Now, this is probably going to be a case when you get down to most of these lower leagues. So what we need to do there is a couple of things. Loans. If you can get loans in, that's brilliant. If you have got an affiliate club, go right ahead, and we should probably, board request, networking, senior affiliate. It's good sense. We agree. Yeah, excellent. So senior affiliate, you can get some players on loan there. All right. The other one as well is director of football. Now, this is a cheeky little one here. You go to transfer targets. Hey, Mark Bett. He's that striker. He's also DFA. You go request director of football suggestions there. You can go loan, transfer, end of contract, or free transfer. Probably looking at free transfer here. So we're going to play with an advanced forward and a striker, and we're going to get him to suggest. There you go. Straight away, he throws up 3 players, and he'll do this for every single position that you want. So, we want a winger. We definitely want a right-sided winger. Chuck them up, and boom, we've got 3 players here. We can go and have a look at these players. Now, straight away, this guy, Check Diaby, 21-year-old French guy. Got good natural fitness, decent finishing, probably a little bit slow with the pace, but decent acceleration. Okay. Now, I've got attribute masking turned off for this, so just so we can see some of these stats for these players. But I would definitely recommend getting a director of football to list a whole bunch of players for these positions. You don't have to specify the positions like I did. You can just go, I want attacking left, free transfer, and he brings a whole bunch here. We've got Ruben Noble Lazarus. Yep. So once these guys are here, if you've got the attribute masking off, that's brilliant. I would be transfer, offering a trial, and I always like to give 4 weeks, especially at the beginning of the season. Gives you a nice lot of time. You can do 2 weeks, but they're on trial, and that'll get these guys in. We already looked at this guy, didn't we? Dylan Meredith. Yeah. So once again, I would usually go through and I would be free transfer all these players here. Get them in, get them on trial, stuff like that. I think you're going to have about 30 odd. This guy looks pretty decent actually. Zen Mohammed. He is wanted by a host of clubs. He's pretty good actually, not bad. A lot of double digit stuff there in what he needs. So yeah, offer a trial. 4 weeks, job done. So trial, get as many trialists in as you can, and just try and just sort them all, because there are a lot of free transfer players out there. Okay, so we've got loans, we've got game players on trial. Talking to you, director of football. Later on in the year, with the Premier League release youngsters, you get that news bulletin. It says releasing these top youngsters. Click on all of them, bang, offer them a trial, get them all in straight away. Loans and trials, they'll save you. All right, we've just got a couple more suggestions here. Now, we're going to go tactics-wise here. All right, we want us to set up a tactic here. Let's go for some wing play. Yep, choose a formation. Now, with player instructions, 2 strikers seems to do quite well down in lower league. We're going to go for I say that as I'm doing a 4-3-3 DM1. Use a little thumb up options here. That's your assistant telling you that these are good options. Now, player roles. Keep it simple. Okay, this is lower league. These players aren't, you know, blessed with the best stats. Okay, we don't want to be going here like we've got Adam Barton here. It's not too bad, but we don't want to be confusing this. We don't want to be playing ball playing. He's not too bad. Ball playing defender. Ball playing defenders. We don't want to be playing in here like Mazzalas, Caroleros. We're going to be pushing up here and, you know, potentially playing Enganches and that, unless they're specified at that position. I would generally keep the player instructions and player role, quite simple. And that also goes for your player instructions here as well. Okay, don't overload them with player instructions. We don't want you to hit early crosses in the ball. We want you to dribble, be more expansive, because this, once again, is just going to overload the players and they're really, really going to struggle with it tactically. Okay, tactics-wise as well, just be careful with how you play. Obviously, we all know that the Gegenpress has been slightly nerfed. These guys as well are not as as peak physical fitness as the Premier League players. As you can see here, Tom Allen, for example, we can click on him. He has a natural fitness of 9, okay? And he's 26, all right? So if you are going to play a Gegenpress, what I like to do is play here. We can counter, distribute quickly, and out of possession, we can trigger press. What I like to do here is go to the plus. I like to go copy, and we're going to copy that exact tactic straight over, and then I'm going to turn this counter stuff off and turn the trigger press down to maybe standard or less often. Okay, and what I like to do is during the game, I like to flick between both. We were on top 2-0 up after half an hour. I'll go back. We'll turn off the counter. We'll go to that's kind of like our the exact same tactic. It's just not as intense. We'll flick that back, give the players a rest, head into half time, and then come back out again in the second half, ready to press and counter and try and get that advantage. That way these guys aren't going all the time, and they're not going to get as tired as much. So tactics, keep it simple, don't press too much, and don't overload them with player instructions. All right, guys. So the last little tip that I've got here now for you. I hope you're finding this really, really, you know, some good tips here. If you didn't know any of them, great. If you knew them, well, you know, that's even better as well. You're obviously good. So in the schedule, okay, friendlies. All right, and I'm not just talking friendlies at the beginning of the season. All right, I'm talking friendlies in the middle of the week. Okay, now I like to do this as well for a couple of these reasons. So Farsley, for example, where is it? Changed the skin recently. Here, semi-professional. So because they're semi-professional, if we go into training, they only train, having a look at the calendar, they only train a couple of times a week. Okay, if we push out here in the regular season, 2 times a week they're training. That's it. All right. So they're not probably getting up to as much peak physical fitness as they can be. So what I like to do, for example, here we're in the middle of the season, Redditch United away. So let's go and have a look at the schedule. Let's arrange some friendlies. Where that Redditch one was a friendly, wasn't it? Yeah. So here we are, about on a Wednesday. What I like to do is just nearby teams, just a cheeky little friendly here. Confirm this. Yep. We'll go arrange another friendly. And we'll pop that here, choose nearby teams, and you'll notice as well, this is how much it's going to cost us here to get these. So Campion here, it's going to cost us 113 quid to arrange this friendly, but we're going to make 1700, okay? So you take 113 off from that, what do you get? I don't know, some quick maths, 1,662, okay? That's not bad cash. You do these a couple of times this season, and you're really, really going to start to make some money. Now, there's a possibility here you can go for some larger reputation teams. You know, you've got to be careful though, because even though Hamilton here is going to cost us 2,300, we're only going to make $600 from that one. Okay, so just be very, very careful with those large ones there, like Hearts, for example. That's not bad. We're going to make almost 4,000. 3,800. Okay, and confirm that, see if they'll do that. Okay, so that kind of offsets that there as well. Okay, gives the players an extra bit of training. It's kind of like free training, because what will happen then is the training schedule, depending who's doing it, if we delegate it to our assistant manager, well, we don't have a director of football. That's why Mark Beck took over. See, that's what I meant to say. Even if you don't have a director of football, you can use that director of football tip. So definitely use that. Yeah, so it will then adjust the schedule, the training for those friendlies when they do come in here. Okay, like I said, give the players a little bit of extra friendly, a little bit of extra training, and you get some cash for it throughout the season. So only do that at the semi-professional. You don't need to do that if you're team professional, because obviously they train long enough, which is good. So staff-wise, this is what I said the other one before. Just be careful with your youth staff here. Don't worry about that. You don't want any staff there. All right, you've got an under 23s manager, Neil Ross. That's fine. Don't want to go filling this out with under 18s. Just leave it. Ignore it. It's just wasted stuff. But you can fill in some of these that you want here. Head of youth development will obviously give you some quick regens maybe. Definitely get a physio. I would recommend that. Scouts are good as well. So guys, I think that pretty much does wraps it up there with the lower league management tips. So if you did find any of them useful, let me know down in the comments. If you are managing a lower league team, let me know who you're managing and how you're doing. And if you have enjoyed this, like I said, I do have that journeyman save. Go and have a look at that. We're about 3-4 episodes deep. We're managing in Iceland at the moment in the second tier, so it is great. And hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.